Where is Alexander the Great buried? For over 2,300 years, researchers and historians have been trying to locate Alexander the Great's tomb, which remains one of the world's greatest mysteries even to this day. In today's video, we'll emphasize the brief history of Alexander the Great and how much research was conducted by archaeologists to find his lost tomb. How did he die? And has his tomb actually been found? Brief background. Alexander the Great, also known as Alexander III or Alexander of Macedonia, 336 to 323 BCE, died at the age of 32 in 323 BC. He succeeded his father Philip II to the throne in 336 BC at the age of 20 and spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia and Egypt. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to northwestern India. He was undefeated in battle and is widely considered to be one of history's greatest and most successful military commanders. When John Chrysostom, a church father, visited Alexandria in AD 400, he asked to see Alexander's burial place, adding, "His tomb even his own people know not." It is a question that continues to be asked now 1,613 years later. The death of Alexander the Great and subsequent related events have also been the subjects of debate. According to a Babylonian astronomical diary, Alexander died in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II in Babylon between the evening of the 10th of June and the evening of the 11th of June 323 BC at the age of 32. Macedonians and local residents wept at the news of the death, while Achaemenid's subjects were forced to shave their heads. Now let's move towards the actual topic of Alexander's tomb. The tomb of Alexander the Great is attested in several historical accounts, but its current exact location remains an enduring mystery. But based on ancient writings, legends and recent discoveries, are there any clues as to where Alexander the Great is buried? The great Macedonian general died in Babylon, and his empire collapsed shortly afterwards as his generals and officials fought for control. One of his generals, according to Pausanias and the contemporary Parian Chronicle records for the years 321 to 320 BC, Ptolemy initially buried Alexander in Memphis. In the late 4th or early 3rd century BC, during the early Ptolemaic dynasty, Alexander's body was transferred from Memphis to Alexandria, where it was reburied. In 48 BC, Alexander's tomb in Alexandria was visited by Caesar. To finance her war against Octavian, Cleopatra took gold from the tomb. Shortly after the death of Cleopatra, Alexander's resting place was visited by Augustus, who is said to have placed flowers on the tomb and a golden diadem upon Alexander's head. According to Suetonius, Alexander's tomb was then partially looted by Caligula, who reportedly removed his breastplate. In 199 AD, Alexander's tomb was sealed up by Septimius Severus during his visit to Alexandria to cease ongoing looting. A tsunami in 356 AD inundated the city after a series of earthquakes, resulting in rising sea levels. The waters of the Nile Delta caused Alexandria to slowly sink as much as 12 feet since Alexander's time. In essence, the burial ground of Alexander must have sunk quite deep into the seabed by now, along with much of the ancient city, on top of which the modern city is located. While the common belief is that the tomb of Alexander the Great is in Alexandria, 140 separate, fruitless attempts to locate it have been recorded by the Egyptian Supreme Council for Antiquities. Earlier this year it was reported that an enthusiast had located his burial tomb in the Siwa Oasis, near the Libyan border, a discovery first claimed back in 1984, while another says his remains are buried under St. Mark's Cathedral in Venice. These attempts have generated several theories as to the exact spot where Alexander lies, the oldest one being that the tomb is in the center of the ancient city. Several scholars of the 19th century, such as Tarsos Neroutsos, Heinrich Kiepert and Ernst von Ziegling, agreed to this theory. In 1850, Ambroise Shilitsi announced the discovery of Alexander's supposed mummy and tomb inside the Nabi Daniel Mosque in Alexandria, yet no permission to excavate was given, nor was it granted later. The Venetian theory. There is even a theory that places Alexander the Great's tomb in Venice, and specifically in the city's Mark's Cathedral. The theory is dismissed by several scholars as being far-fetched with many religious undertones. According to the particular supposition, when the Arabs took over Alexandria, they wanted to rid the city of anything pre-Islamic, so the burial place of Alexander, who had been worshipped as a god, would have to go. Alexandria was also the last resting place of Mark, one of the 4 Christian gospel writers who is Venice's patron saint. A variation of the Venice theory has Venetian merchants stealing Alexander's remains, believing them to belong to St. Mark the Evangelist, and transferring them to the Saint's Basilica in Venice. Dr. Andrew Michael Chugg, who wrote the book The Lost Tomb of Alexander the Great, seems to adapt the theory based on a piece of sarcophagus of the pharaoh Nectanebo II. Alexander's original tomb in Memphis was built by Pharaoh Nectanebo II inside the Serapeum complex. The sculptures of Greek poets and philosophers suggest that Alexander the Great's tomb was inside that complex. Amazingly, a piece of masonry found in the foundations of St. Mark's in Venice matches the dimensions of Nectanebo II's sarcophagus in the British Museum, indicating that Alexander's tomb is inside St. Mark's tomb under the basilica. Since Alexander's body disappeared in 392 AD and the tomb of St. Mark appeared at the same time, Chugg believes that the Venetian merchants stole the body, mistaking it for St. Mark's. Indeed, stranger things have happened in history. Watch video like this, hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you never miss the new updates. Is Alexander the Great buried in Vergina? In 1993, Greek archaeologist Triantafyllos Papazoai developed the theory that it is not Philip II of Macedon who is buried in the royal tomb II at Vergina, Greece, but it is actually Alexander the Great, while his son Alexander IV is buried in tomb 3. Papazoai further concluded that the breastplate, shield, helmet and sword found in tomb 2 belonged to the armour of Alexander the Great. However, the archaeologist's theory has never been proven: the mystery of the Amphipolis tomb. In 2014, Greece and the rest of the world were shaken by the news of the discovery of the tomb of Alexander the Great in Amphipolis in northern Greece. The large Alexander-era tomb at Casta Hill in Amphipolis once again led to speculation about Alexander's final resting place. Some have speculated that it was built for Alexander but not used due to Ptolemy the Sota having seized the funeral cortege and turning it away from its initial destination. The findings on the site led to speculation that it was a memorial dedicated to Alexander's close friend, Hephaestion. Andrew Chugg speculated that the tomb belongs to Alexander's mother, Olympias, or Roxanne, his wife, with the former being the most likely. Latest results about Alexander tomb. Greek archaeologist Calliope Limnaeos Papakosta has made it her life's mission to find the holy grail of researchers, Alexander the Great's tomb. The director of the Hellenic Research Institute of the Alexandrian Civilization, Limnaeos Papakosta, has been digging for over 15 years at sites around the Shalalat Gardens, a public park in the heart of Alexandria. The Greek archaeologist and her team have dug over 10 meters, 35 feet, under modern-day Alexandria to find the man the city is named after. Limnaeos Paleokosta and her team have found the first roads built in the city, as well as the foundation of an enormous public building over 200 feet long. They believe this area is the ancient royal quarter. The archaeologist and her team used an elaborate system of pumps to dry up the area so that they could continue to dig. Limnaeos Papakosta's persistence paid off, adding much-needed optimism to her endeavour. Her team did uncover an early Hellenistic statue bearing hallmarks of Alexander the Great. The marble statue most definitely depicts Alexander the Great, the spear-bearer. It was created with the same technique of the great sculptor Lysippus, that is, with the head tilted downwards and to the side. The statue, which is now universally acknowledged to represent the great general, is exhibited at the National Museum of Alexandria. Perhaps this is proof that we really are closer to the unravelling of the great mystery of the tomb of Alexander the Great than we have ever been before. However, it is also possible that the great conqueror, who believed he was the son of Zeus, will continue to hide in the depths of history, remaining forever immortal. If you like this video, thumbs up and share it with your family and friends to make their feeds interesting. Take care until next time with another amazing video that you must check out. Goodbye till next time.